Good morning, or good evening, wherever you are finding this moment of stillness. Let me ask you a crucial question, a question that keeps so many of us trapped in a cycle of depletion. In a world with unprecedented access to information, tools, and comfort, why do we still feel perpetually behind, endlessly anxious, and fundamentally insufficient? Why, despite all the strategies for productivity, does the stress from work and life still feel like a current pulling us under? The answer, as the ancient wisdom traditions and modern psychology both confirm, is found in the way we relate to our own minds. Welcome. Today, we step off the hamster wheel and begin building something lasting. This is not another productivity hack. This is about discovering the middle way, a path to dissipate work and life anxiety, enhance clarity, and build unshakable confidence. If you are exhausted from fighting your thoughts, if you crave deep, genuine relaxation, if you are a high achiever drowning in demands, or if you are simply seeking deeper self-knowledge, you are in the right place. For the next 30 minutes, let everything else fade and just listen. We are caught in two fundamental traps that steal our peace and erode our effectiveness. The Buddha called it tanha, often translated as craving, but it's deeper. It's the constant desire for reality to be different than it is right now. In modern terms, it's the disease of hurry, and it's fueling your stress. Consider Sarah, a department head, excellent at her job, but constantly rushed. She eats lunch while replying to emails, mentally rehearses tomorrow's presentation while putting her children to bed, and falls asleep to a true crime podcast because her mind is too busy to be quiet. Her body, as the video we analyzed confirmed, can't tell the difference between running to a deadline and running from a tiger. Biologically, urgency is urgency. She's locked in survival mode. The wisdom here is simple. Hurry feeds anxiety like oxygen feeds fire. You don't get more done when you rush. You only scatter your attention and confuse your nervous system. You are trading this real, precious moment for an imaginary future moment of peace that never arrives. The second trap is how we respond to the inevitable pain of life. The Buddha taught the principle of the two arrows. The first arrow is the actual event, the physical discomfort, the negative feedback at work, the missed deadline. This arrow hurts, and the pain is real. But the second arrow is the optional part. It is our mental reaction, the self-judgment, I'm going to fail, the catastrophic story, I'll lose my job and everything will fall apart, the resistance, this shouldn't be happening to me. Psychology calls this cognitive fusion. We fuse with our thoughts, believing the story is the reality. Our stress is amplified not by the actual problem, but by the story we incessantly carry about the problem. If you are a complex problem solver, you cannot afford this emotional hijacking. To escape these traps, we must first find our anchor. Wherever you are, allow yourself to soften. You don't need to change your posture, just your attention. Gently close your eyes, or simply lower your gaze. Let the weight of your body be supported by the chair or the floor beneath you. Bring your entire, kind attention to your breath, your most faithful, ever-present anchor. You don't need to control it or force it to be deep. Just notice it. Feel the cool air enter through your nostrils. Feel the gentle rise of your belly as your lungs fill, and feel the warm air leave your body. Feel the soft release of your shoulders and jaw as you exhale, in and out. Let the breath be like a wave, steady and true. For the next minute, if your mind drifts, and it will, it's a thinking machine. Simply acknowledge the thought, thinking, and gently, patiently, bring your awareness back to the sensation of your breath. This is your sanctuary. This moment is not burdened by the past or threatened by the future. In this moment, you are simply being. Host pauses for 30 seconds of quiet breathing. Gently open your eyes. You have just returned home. You have created space between the external demand and your internal reaction. This simple 60-second pause is the foundation of confidence and clarity. Now, let's apply this practice to a common work challenge: confidence and self-doubt. Imagine you are preparing for a major presentation, a negotiation, or a difficult conversation, a challenge familiar to high achievers and anxiety sufferers alike. Immediately, the second arrow flies. I'm going to mess this up. They won't take me seriously. I'm not qualified enough. This cognitive fusion instantly tanks your confidence and processing power. The solution: cognitive diffusion, and the sky metaphor, Vipassana. Buddhist Vipassana, clear seeing, teaches us, you are not your thoughts, you are the space in which thoughts appear. Think of your mind as the vast, unchanging sky. Your self-doubts, fears, and judgments are merely the weather clouds, fog, and storms passing through. The sky never fights the clouds. The sky is never damaged by the storm. The sky remains vast and open, whether the sun shines or the fog rolls in. When self-doubt arises, practice diffusion, a core technique in acceptance and commitment therapy. Label the thought. Instead of saying, "I am a failure," acknowledge it. "Ah, I notice the thought. I am a failure," appearing in my awareness. Separate the story. Ask yourself, is this a fact in this moment? Or is this a story my mind is telling based on fear? By recognizing the thought as merely a mental event, a cloud, you stop fusing with it. Your confidence doesn't come from never having negative thoughts, but from knowing you are the sky that holds them all without being defined by any of them. This is the root of unshakable, true confidence. Next, let's address the challenge of handling complexity and overwhelm, a struggle common for all our groups. Imagine a complex, multifaceted project has just hit your desk with an impossible deadline and conflicting stakeholder demands. Your immediate mental reaction is to fight. This shouldn't be happening. I should have more support. The deadline is unfair. The shoulds and the second arrow. This resistance drains the energy you need for problem solving. The solution: radical acceptance and wise action. To boost your ability to handle complexity, you must stop arguing with reality. Radical acceptance, yatabutanara. This does not mean approval or resignation. It means acknowledging reality as it is right now. The deadline is unfair, and it is here. The stakeholders are conflicting, and this is the current situation. You stop spending precious mental energy wishing things were different. Shift to wise action. Once you accept what is, the energy previously used for resistance is freed up for clarity and action. You can now see the complex project clearly, like a cartographer seeing the actual terrain rather than the preferred map. One thing at a time. You apply the discipline of presence. The project's complexity breaks down when you commit to focusing all your attention, your entire being, on the one small, prioritized task in front of you. Not thinking about the next task, not checking emails, just this. The Japanese tea ceremony teaches us this. When whisking the tea, just whisk the tea. By simplifying your focus and accepting the current reality, you dissolve the overwhelm and naturally elevate your capacity to process complexity. We have covered 3 core practices rooted in both ancient wisdom and modern psychology. Pause. Anchor your system in the present moment via the breath, samatha. Diffuse. Recognize your thoughts as weather, not your identity, vipassana, cognitive diffusion. Accept. Stop fighting reality to free energy for wise action, radical acceptance. These practices are sustained by the wisdom of impermanence, anicca. If your anxiety feels permanent, remember the falling leaves. Everything, the pain, the joy, the difficult project, even the feeling of anxiety, is temporary. It will pass. Impermanence is not a tragedy. It is the great liberation. It also makes this very moment, this one breath, absolutely precious and unique. Host, you are not creating sanctuary. You are recognizing that you are the sanctuary. You are the space that can hold it all. Know that the peace you seek is not waiting for you at the end of a long to-do list or an impossible deadline. It is here, now, in your willingness to pause and be present. As you step back into your day, I invite you to take the spirit of this moment with you. Choose one transition before you open a door, before you answer the phone, before you send an email, and take just one full, conscious breath. Be gentle with yourself. You are doing something courageous simply by seeking peace in a world that profits from your anxiety. Thank you for sharing this time. May your journey be filled with clarity, confidence, and compassion.